Hello, I'm Ramie.
And I'm Beth.
And this is Leveling Duo, a podcast where two friends, or in this case, siblings, talk about video games they enjoy. We've both played Pokemon a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And since spooky season's coming up and we haven't done an episode of Leveling Duo in a while, I've been going through Pokemon a lot, and I want to discuss ghost Pokemon. There's some wacky ones out there, Beth. Some scary ones, I should say. So let's get this started. I'm going to give her a name of a Pokedex. We're using
PokemonDB.net.
That's what it is. I will list off a Pokemon for her to go to, and then she'll explain what it looks like, if she knows anything about it, if you knew it all. Some of you might be familiar with. And if not, I'll tell you a Pokedex entry to read, and you can tell me what you think of these particular Pokemon. So go to Ghastly. What do you see?
A purple haze of gas with a black ball that looks angry in the middle with fangs.
Okay. Read its Scarlet entry.
There it is. Asado Desert.
You're looking at the location.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. It wraps its opponent in its gas-like body, slowly weakening its prey by poisoning it through the skin.
Okay, now that we've figured that out, also read its Ultra Moon. It'll be above it a bit.
Poisonous gas compromises 95% of its body. It's said that the remaining 5% is made up of the souls of those who died from the gas.
Yes, Ghastly is kind of mild compared to the rest of them, but he is the first evolved form of Haunter. Go back and go to Haunters real quick and tell me what you see.
It doesn't look as gassy. It has two claws floating in front. Still looks mean, a little more spiky.
Yeah, he's still purple.
Yeah.
Read the black and white entries. There's two black and whites. Black and white 1 and 2. It's just to go to the black and white.
It likes to lurk in the dark and tap shoulders with a gaseous hand. Its touch causes endless shuddering.
Yeah, kind of weird. Now find Omega Ruby Sapphire, or Alpha Sapphire.
Haunter is a dangerous Pokemon. If one beckons you while floating in darkness, you must never approach it. This Pokemon will try to lick you with its tongue and steal your life away.
Yeah. How do you like that one? Ghastly's getting a little bit worse here in his second evolution. Run back and go to Gengar now. I'll be honest, I love this trio here. I do hate that I can't get a Gengar without trading because I don't have many trading friends.
It's a ball. A chunky ball with little short legs and little short arms. It's got red eyes and it's got this evil smile. And It's also spiky and purple.
Go to Omega Ruby again.
Sometimes on a dark night, your shadow thrown by a streetlight will suddenly and startlingly overtake you. It is actually a Gengar running past you, pretending to be your shadow.
Yeah, kind of harmless. It's a prankster somewhat. Now go to Sun, and then read Sun and Moons.
Should you feel yourself attacked by a sudden chill, it is evidence of an approaching Gengar. There is no escaping it. Give up. Give up on life.
Then what does the Moon one say?
It apparently wishes for a traveling companion. Since it was once human itself. It tries to create one by taking the lives of other humans.
I love Gengar.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's sad and cute at the same time. It's horrifying, really. Go to Miss Drevius. Now, see, some of the anime, I can't remember how they pronounce them. It's like the people who just play Pokemon games and never seen the anime. Some of them
sad.
I haven't seen, I haven't seen them in a very long time, and the names may escape me. I think Misdrevious, how you pronounce that? I have the initials here, L.A.
It probably is kind of like mischievous, but Misdrevious instead.
Most likely. Oh, Legends Arceus. That's what L.A. stands for. I just put the abbreviations for all the entries. She looks like a
sad little blob. A female sad little blob.
It's got like a ruby-colored pearl necklace on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little smile, and it's got frosted tips of its head. And it's got no legs or anything. It's just kind of like a floating head with just enough neck to make a necklace go around. It's also a bluish color, right? The whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now read Legend Arceus and then read Violet.
It conceals itself in darkness, sending chills up travelers' spines with its childlike weeping. As it observes the frightened travelers with glee, the red orbs upon its chest let off an eerie light.
Well, now read Violet.
It loves to bite and yank people's hair from behind without warning, just to see their shocked reactions.
I would be shocked. We might skip some evolutions. We might not. I will come back to it if we do. Go to Corsola.
Oh, it's the little pink thing you see in the water.
Look at its evolution.
Oh, the one in the evolution area is white. It's evolution now. Cursola.
Yeah, Corsola.
Corsola and Cursola.
Yeah, they're different. Now, one of them is pink. It's a variation. Now, once they got, I think it's Galar region. When they first came out, it was a pink, vibrant Pokemon. And it was supposed to be coral. And now, since the environmental things are coming in, the coral is bleached and dying white.
Oh.
So they're turning it into a ghost-type Pokemon in certain regions because it's dead coral. Cursola. That's how you pronounce its variant. Or it's not its variant. It's only showed up in Sword Shield. Yeah. Diamond, Pearl, and Arceus. There's no actual entries for it. Do you see any? Oh, here they are. Yeah. Read sword.
Its shell is overflowing with its heightened otherworldly energy. The ectoplasm serves as protection for this Pokemon's core spirit.
Mm-hmm. Now, imagine being out in the sea and the shield description happening to you.
Be cautious of the ectoplasmic body surrounding its soul. You'll become stiff as stone if you touch it. You're going to drown.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Go to Shuppet now. Brilliant Diamonds entry, I think, is all we'll need. Explain what this looks like.
It's also a little head, but it's got a horn on top, and it's bluish, purplish gray.
Yeah, it's got 2 eyes, got a little mouth, and think of a onion with a purple cloth laid over it, and the onion has like something sticking out at the top to make it like a little antenna, but the cloth covers it, so you just have a spike on top of a cloth with a little head shape. And 2 eyes. Read their Brilliant Diamond entry.
They love vengeful emotions and hang in rows under the eaves of houses where vengeful people live. So you know not to go in that house.
There's somebody in there that's got a grudge. Yeah, I think we can go to... That one's just a fun one, not really terrifying. It does like some weird things. Their evolved form actually grows like a sinister look, turns black clothy. It's got like arms and legs now. Horrifying in its own way. It does say that it's a grudged doll that has become haunted for being left. It likes to haunt dark alleyways if you like its evolved form.
Banette.
Yeah. Does feelings of hatred turn a puppet into a Pokemon?
Banette. That sounds like a pretty girl's name. Ultra Sun. It's a stuffed toy that was thrown away and became possessed, ever searching for the one who threw it away so it can exact its revenge. I wonder if that's what happened to my Furby.
Oh, no.
It wouldn't shut up.
I hope not.
Actually, I think I gave it to Titan.
Oh, he would have loved it. Find Duskull. I like Duskull. Explain what it looks like and then...
Oh, I remember this one. It's cute.
Yeah, it's from 3rd generation, I think.
Yeah. It's the little skull mask, and then it looks like a Grim Reaper, like a little mini Grim Reaper.
Yeah, just think of the Grim Reaper's head.
Yeah.
Its skull with the same all over it. It does have a little bone print on the top of it, though. It's kind
I
of
bet that one would make a good tattoo.
It would.
For a girl.
Black and white 2s entry, please.
It loves the crying of children. It startles bad kids by passing through walls and making them cry. I want one.
Oh.
I want to go into Walmarts and stores and restaurants with this Pokemon.
Okay, now, it does evolve into 2 different forms, Dusclops and Dusknoir. Go to Dusclops now.
Oh, it's not as cute.
Okay, explain what it looks like.
It's
got 1 eye that's like Cyclops.
Yeah, it's like a Cyclops, yeah. It's kind of looks like a rock.
It's very gray, and it's got that 1 eye in the center at the top. It's got white mummy wrapping kind of things coming out the top of its head and beside its arms.
Oh, maybe that's what that is. Okay.
Maybe. But read in the Dusclops, read Omega Ruby and Arceus, I think.
Dusclops' body is completely hollow. There's nothing at all inside. It is said that its body is like a black hole. This Pokemon will absorb anything into its body, but nothing will ever come back out.
Alpha Sapphire is the other one I should have said.
Dusclops absorbs anything, however large the object may be. The Pokemon hypnotizes its foe by waving its hands in a macabre manner and by bringing its single eye to bear. The hypnotized foe is made to do Dusclops' bidding.
Go to Drifloon, one of my favorite. This in Litwick.
It's a balloon, a purple balloon with an X in the middle between its eyes and 2 strings instead of 1. Yeah, and a cloud for hair.
I always thought they looked like a jellyfish. 2-legged jellyfish.
Yeah.
Kind of cute. Adorable little thing. Read its Pearl.
It tugs on the hands of children to steal them away. However, it gets pulled around instead. Oh.
Now read why.
These Pokemon are called the signposts for wandering spirits. Children holding them sometimes vanish. It's like the Pied Piper in Inuyasha.
Yeah, pretty much. Now it evolves, of course, into a Drifblim, like a blimp. Check out Drifblim real quick and explain what that looks like.
It's like a hot air balloon with the same cloud of hair and 3 thicker legs.
Yes.
Strings, whatever.
They don't come directly at the bottom. They come out slightly below, halfway down on its body, so it still looks like a hot air balloon. Read its sword entry.
Some say this Pokemon is a collection of souls burdened with regrets, silently drifting through the dusk.
Yeah, that's not so terrible. But read Ultra Suns.
There's a rumor that if you catch a Driftblim floating on the wind at dusk, you'll be carried away to the afterlife.
Just don't look up at dusk, okay? Or don't catch them. I don't know if they mean literally catching them.
But you gotta catch them all. That's part of it. It's in the song.
They do say that. I do try to catch them all. Go to Miss Magus. I'm pretty sure she's the evolved form of the Miss Drevius we done earlier. Well, explain what she looks like a little bit if you can. I'm not going to be good at this one.
A floating witch.
A floating witch in the same purple shade as the one we talked about earlier.
Uh-huh.
So it's grew more parts pretty much, which they do tend to do that. Read its moon entry.
It's either Miss Magius or Miss Magius, have been known to cast spells to make people fall in love. So some people search for this Pokemon as if their life depended on it.
Now read Ultra Suns. And then Ultra Moons.
Feared for its wrath and the curses it spreads, the Pokemon will also, on a whim, cast spells that help people.
See, that's not so bad. So far, this one's seeming okay, like just a witch in the woods.
Yeah.
What does Ultra Moon say?
Its muttered curses can cause awful headaches or terrifying visions that torment others. I've got one of those. I've had a headache for months.
At least they're not hauling your soul away to the afterlife or your children. That's not so bad, right?
Yeah. I don't really have kids, but I can take it to, like I said, a restaurant or something, and you can just walk off with them if that means my headache goes away. Is that a possibility?
Maybe. Go to Frostlass. It's a second evolved form of another Pokemon, but this is the ghost form. And explain what she looks like. Well, not all of them are she, but I say she. Maybe they all are she.
It says 0% male, 100% female.
Okay, then yeah, it's a female. I'm glad you've seen that.
Icy crystals for horns or ears.
It's got a purple
face with drooping ears that turn into hands.
Yeah, it's got like little. It looks like it's got like a lady's kimono on with tie behind it, becoming something like wings, orange wings, little bitty ones. It's obviously an ice type. It's an ice and ghost type. Read an Ultra Moon entry and then swords.
It's said that on nights of terrible blizzards, it comes down to human settlements. If you hear it knocking at your door, do not open it. That's okay. I don't open my door anyway.
Okay.
And then which one?
Sword, I believe.
After a woman met her end on a snowy mountain, her regrets lingered on. From them, this Pokemon was born. Also, multiple women. Well, it said after a woman met her end on a snowy mountain, her regrets lingered on. From them, this Pokemon was born. Its favorite fruit is frozen souls. It makes me think of, I think it was on Hauntings and Legends, one of those episodes, the woman that died under a rock or something in the snow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of bad stuff can happen to turn you into a ghost Pokemon. Now, go back to Confagrigus. If I heard of Ash say it, I would know what it was.
Confagrigus.
Yes, that's it. Explain what it looks like. It's like a sarcophagus, like a Egyptian sarcophagus with 4 ghostly arms coming out.
Yeah, like the mummy coffin thingy.
Yeah, it has...
but with 4 ghostly arms coming out.
It evolves from Yawmask, which is a death mask that has been inhabited by the soul.
It says coffin Pokemon.
Yeah, okay.
As the species.
Now, when it comes to this one, read Black 1 and 2.
It has been said that they swallow those who get too close and turn them into mummies. They like to eat golden nuggets.
That's a weird one, right?
Where do you find those?
You can find them in Pokemon. You sell them.
Ah.
Yeah. Now, what does the Black 2 say?
Grave robbers who mistake them for real coffins and get too close end up trapped inside their bodies. And that's what you get.
That does seem fair. Yeah. We would never have had that mummy movie if this had been the case.
Yeah.
Proper protection from grave robbers. Now, Frillish. Just read white entry. Explain what this looks like, though. Frillish looks like a jellyfish with a little crown. A blue...
A ghostly jellyfish that looks like it's in shock.
It does. Its arm's a little thicker than a normal...
Yeah. Nice light blue color. It's pretty Pokemon.
It's got a frill around its neck where its neck meets its body.
Yeah.
So it's a ghost water type, obviously. Now read White's entry for that one. They
paralyze prey with poison, then drag them down to their lairs 5 miles below the surface. So they're kind of like the sirens of Pokemon.
They are very similar, yes. Now, probably my second favorite ghost type, the whole evolution line here, is Litwick.
That's the little candle one, isn't it?
I love Litwick.
Yeah, it's still a cute little candle.
It's a little candle with a face on it and a purple flame. Read white and then read sword and shield.
Okay, white. While shining a light and pretending to be a god, it leeches off the life force of any who follows. Oh, not as cute and innocent as it looks. And then sword and shield.
Yes.
The flame on its head keeps its body slightly warm. This Pokemon takes lost children by the hand to guide them to the spirit world. Why do Pokemon hate kids?
I think the children might already be dead, for all I know.
Oh.
I'm just assuming they're lost before they get to the spirit world, then this Pokemon helps them.
Oh.
Hopefully, unless they're like, Mom, I don't care about you no more. Just come with me. Now go to Lampent.
I didn't read shield yet.
Oh, read shield, sorry.
The younger the life this Pokemon absorbs, the brighter and eerier the flame on its head burns.
Yep. There was a whole episode of Pokemon where Jesse, James, Meowth, and Ash, and all of them were stuck in a house full of Litwicks. They were just too weak to do anything. It was just, it was funny. I think they eventually all had to work together, as they sometimes do in the series, to escape.
Those are always good ones.
A lot of the movies, they end up helping.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to evolve our Litwick into a Lampent. What does Lampent look like?
A lamp.
Yeah.
A black
With
lamp.
with two arms. It's got the shield over it to keep the lamp flame inside. Got the glass body, and it's got two arms that stick down. Looks like you could hang plants out of them almost.
Yeah.
Read X and then shields.
The spirits it absorbs fuels its baleful fire. It hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass on.
Now read shields. It's even better.
It lurks in cities pretending to be a lamp. Once it finds someone whose death is near, it will trail quietly after them. Imagine being that person. Just get me out of my misery at that point.
That'd be terrifying. I wonder if the local hospitals have to take note of this. We're going to evolve up again to Chandelure. What does this one look like?
A chandelier.
Yep, with a
gothic chandelier with purpley blue flames. Really pretty.
Yeah.
Definitely would probably try to put this in one of my spooky Sims builds.
Yeah.
If it was on there.
The flame in the center flame seems a little high.
Yeah.
But that's probably only once it gets to the point where it read black.
See how many children's souls we're getting today. It absorbs a spirit, which it then burns.
Yeah.
Free cremation in spirit form. By waving the flames on its arms, it puts its foes into a hypnotic trance.
Yes. Now read wise.
The spirits burned up in its ominous flame lose their way and wander this world forever.
And then read shield.
At homes illuminated by chandelure instead of lights, funerals were a constant occurrence, or so it's said.
It does make sense. There's a reason that Pokemon showed up here, right? You better be happy it showed up instead of a Lampent. Otherwise, your home is killing you. We haven't got many more to go. Let's go to Phantom.
It's a stump. A ghostly stump.
It's basically a stump of a black, scary blob of eyes inside of it. Read why.
According to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest.
Mm-hmm. Now read shield.
With a voice like a human child's, it cries out to lure adults deep into the forest, getting them lost among the trees.
Okay, now read moon.
According to legend, medicine to cure any illness can be made by plucking the green leaves on its head, brewing them, and boiling down liquid.
So it could either save your life or lure you into the woods to die. Maybe if you heard the child crying, you could hope it'd see. If you needed medicine, I guess.
I wonder if they were thinking about that Japanese suicide forest when they created these.
I have no idea. Maybe a lot of children died in the woods in Japan before. I don't know. It's just creepy. Just creepy. Go to Graveyard.
Oh, the puppy.
Yeah.
It's a candle puppy.
Yeah.
It's a sheepdog puppy.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Let me tell you which ones to read. Scarlet and Violet. Just read both of those.
It is said that a dog Pokemon that died in the wild without ever interacting with human was reborn as this Pokemon, poor puppy. This friendly Pokemon doesn't like being alone. Oh, I'll take you home. Pay it even the slightest bit of attention and it will follow you forever.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, what it does, it looks like a really shaggy dog with a very big mouth. It's wagging its tail to see you. It's bluish and white colored. And it has a little candle flame coming out of the top of its head. And in Scarlet and Violet, when I'm riding around my bicycle or my Pokemon, I see a little light in the ground. It could be something to pick up. Or when I get closer, one of these pop out of the ground and run over to me. It's kind of cute, but I've already caught one, so I can't keep catching them all.
I would.
It does evolve.
I would just have all of them. Puppy dogs.
Once it reaches level 30 and if it's nighttime, it evolves into a houndstone, which is a much bigger dog with skeletal paws.
And a tombstone on it.
A tombstone on its head and the same long, shaggy fur, waggy tail. It's very loyal to people, the dog is, the houndstone is. And
it also sleeps most of the time in the graveyards.
It does, but it doesn't like the tombstone to be touched. They call it a protrudence in the Pokedex, but it's a tombstone, so don't pet it on top of the head. But I love these dogs. And then it makes me sad because I know a doggy Pokemon has died without ever interacting with people. Now, there's another one I'm going to have you read. It's called Sinistea. It's a little a chipped cup with, it looks like a British teacup that you would imagine. I'm pretty sure Sinistea came out in the second to last generation, the Galar region, which is why it looks like a teacup.
So it's the teacup from Chip from Beauty and the Beast, but it's blue with purple liquid.
Yeah, the purple liquid, it's got a chipped handle, so the purple liquid's coming out of the back to make a hand holding on to the rest of the handle to make it finished. A little bit of the purple goo inside is oozing out the front. It's got a face on the cup. If you drink it, it begins to like suck out your soul. It's an acquired taste. It evolves, if you give it a bigger cracked pot, it evolves into a Poltegeist. Get it? Poltegeist. Mm-hmm. That's another one that will try to suck out your soul as you drink it. Some people would actually like it, though. I'm just a big fan of ghost Pokemon. I don't use them all the time, but I do like the fact that one of the newer starters in Scarlet and Violet was a Skeledirge, which, after it evolves all the way, spoiler, you get this little fire Pokemon, and it grows up into a singing, crocodile-looking fire-type Pokemon with a little ghosty flame on its head that turns into a microphone that it can sing out of and launch fire attacks at you. And get it like a funeral dirge. It's a Skeledirge, and it's a singing fire-type ghost Pokemon. It's fun. But it doesn't really have a ghostly thing to talk about in here. I just wanted to mention I really like that one. There's a bunch of ghosts out there. I thought about covering psychics as well, but they're not as creepy. They can do some wacky things, but they're not like Halloween themed, so I didn't want to talk about that. What would you say your favorite ghost Pokemon is?
The puppy.
I figured you would like the puppy. Everybody just goes for the puppy.
I also like that little skull, the Duskull.
Duskull, yeah. I like Duskull. As dangerous as it is, I like Litwick and its evolution too. Mm-hmm. But I can't help but grab a Gengar wherever I see it. But that's all I wanted to talk about, just some cool ghost types. I don't know if I'll do a crossover with HH&H or not. I might just make it a special. And this really isn't talking about a game. It's talking about a whole bunch of different games. I know as clunky as Scarlet and Violet were, I have enjoyed them finally and finished them properly. Well, almost finished. The second DLC I'm not going to be able to finish because I'm not doing one of the requirements to beat their Elite Four. They want me to start a whole new team of only using the Pokemon from the DLC and level them up to fight the Elite Four. And I was like, I'm not doing that. You know how long it takes to level up all these Pokemon? I have a team I got through all these championships with, and you want me to build a new one? No thanks. So we picked our favorite Pokemon and all that. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. If you like this kind of spooky stuff, you can check out Horrific History and Hauntings. It's a podcast Beth does with me, and she tells me everything in the title. Horrific History, Hauntings, creepy, cryptid stuff. Bad things that happen in history, it's whatever. We just talk about all kinds of stuff. True crime. A lot of times true crime lead to actual ghost stories too. Look for all the links in the description. There'll be a link tree that take you to our Gruesome Gaming Group podcast website. That's our podcast group. We do Leveling Duo, Brother Knows Quest, and Horrific History and Hauntings. So Leveling Duo or Brother Knows Quest, this is where I tell Beth here about tabletop role-playing games. Different one each week if we can get into it. And there'll be all of our social links there. You can reach out to us that way. Emails to reach out if you want below the link tree. And then I guess that's really it. There might be a tip option below that if I can find one. Sometimes our podcast host will support or supply us with a link to accept tips on through Stripe, which is pretty secure. And if I can find that, I'll add it in there too. Okay. Thank you for listening. I've been Ramie.
And I'm Beth.
And this has been Leveling Duo. Bye-bye.